So he did that,
yes,
and that's on his legacy, but nobody's ever going to give him full credit for that. And even though he might be beloved in Dub Nation next year, so what? So for me, I'm with you on that half of the equation, but I'm not with you on your conclusion. The conclusion should be the other destination. The destination, the no-brainer destination for me right here, right now for Kevin Durant, if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm going to swallow my fear and I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to take the much harder road. I'm going to go to the Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks?
Going to the Knicks.
Oh, I would say the Nets.
Okay.
Because they have more pieces in place.
Okay, I don't care about pieces. I care about legacy. Kevin Durant is now still 30, but he's going to turn 31, and then he's going to turn 32 before the next basketball season starts. So he's going to be entering his age 32 season, his next.
So he won't play another basketball game until he's 32.
32 years of age.
A meaningful basketball game.
A meaningful basketball game is correct. To me, I have respect for the Nets and what they built, and they clearly have a better structure in place, better management, better coaching staff, although David Fizdale's really good.
Oh, I like Fizz.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
It's the guy that signs Fizz's check.
I know, I got that. If you go up the ladder all the way through Steve Mills up to James Dolan, listen, Kevin Durant has an opportunity on a silver platter in New York City. It's one thing to be in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's become the chic place to live within the boroughs, the 5 boroughs, but it's not Manhattan.
No.
You have to play the Palace. You played the Palace once upon a time. You went to CBS and you did it.
Yeah.
You went there and you succeeded in New York. And I played the Palace on a show called Cold Pizza. So I lived in New York for 15 years. So you have to have it on your legacy. This is a legacy move.
You don't strike me as a New York type of guy.
Me?
You more of a SoCal.
15
You more of a beach guy.
I got the West in me. West is the best. But that's not the point. You still have to go do the other ones.
You do.
You have to have it on your resume.
You do.
This is greatest challenge could become greatest achievement because I'm going to remind everybody, the New York Knicks have not won a championship in 46 years. Not since Phil Jackson was a player coming off the bench averaging 8 points and 4 rebounds for the New York Knicks with long hair. A hippie Phil, right?
Yes.
And that was in 1973. Yet, what do we consider the mecca of basketball to this day?
The Garden.
The Garden.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to play the Palace. That is Madison Square Garden. Every opponent, every visiting star wants to have his best game of the year in Madison Square Garden.
Skip, it's just not basketball. You think of entertainers. You want to sell that Jay-Z. You want to sell out Madison Square Garden. Kevin Hart as a comedian. Entertainers, singers.
Okay, so what if Kevin Durant, and this is a tall order, and he's a tall man. He's 7 feet tall.
Okay.
But what if he could go there with Kyrie? He would need Kyrie, and I think Kyrie would be his best fit. So the two of them go there. Kyrie's going to have to suck it up and muddle through a year without Kevin, which will not be easy.
Right.
But everybody would be waiting for year 2, and if in year 2, let's just say, for the sake of this discussion, they go win the championship, or in year 3 or whatever. Let's say they go win a couple of championships before Kevin's done.
If he won one in New York, it would be bigger than the 2 he won in Golden State.
Absolutely. Maybe 10 times bigger.
It changes the dynamic.
Okay. Could he not then undercut the criticism that he took in Golden State?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't he turn it on its head? Wouldn't he turn it upside down where he could go from, why did you do that? And we've heard lots of ex-stars say, I put asterisk beside, right? We go all the way back to
he got the blueprint, he got the book. LeBron.
Okay.
The criticism he got for going to Miami. By going back to Cleveland and winning it, it almost like that didn't happen, and it meant more to win one in Miami.
Okay.
If Kevin Durant could do that for New York.
Okay, but nobody really condemned LeBron for leaving Cleveland. It wasn't like they said, why are you leaving Cleveland? People just didn't like the way he handled it, the decision, the TV show.
But they still looked at it like he put together a super team because everybody said, well, it was LeBron James that started this.
But most people agreed LeBron was going to have a hard time lifting that roster in Cleveland the first go-around to a championship.
Correct.
It's going to be hard, right?
Yes.
So nobody condemned him for that. They just condemned him for, you're going to join forces with Dwayne and Chris Bosh, and you're going to say not 1, not 2, not 3. He's going to say we're going to win 8 championships, right? Okay. So it was more the way he handled it. In this case, Kevin left Russell Westbrook, who then would turn right around and win MVP the next year, right? How can you leave that guy? So he was roundly condemned, not only by fans, but by so many ex-players said, I got no respect for that, right?
Well, Skip, I don't think it's so much that he left because everybody looks at him and says, okay, he was a free agent. He had fulfilled his obligation in Oklahoma City. It was the fact that he went and joined a team that was 73-9 that he had down 3-1.
Right.
Skip, I believe he would have got more praise had he beat that team. Let's just say for the sake of argument, for this discussion, Skip, they hold on and they beat Golden State. They go and they lose to Cleveland in the finals. And then he turns around and joins Golden State. People look at that like, hold on, how you join the team that beat you up? How you become best friends with the bully that beat you down?
Okay.
You should make him become your best friend.
Okay. How many people would reverse their opinion if he went sort of quote unquote by himself, even though he would have Kyrie? But Kyrie's stock is low right now. Kyrie took a beating last year in Boston, public beating in that you can't do that.
Right.
And you're such a poor leader. So you wouldn't get that much credit for going with Kyrie to the Knicks. And then the Knicks don't have many, they got Kevin Knox and Dennis Smith Jr. and Mitchell Robinson, but it's not it's not loaded.
No.
It's not loaded. It's not on a platter to say, oh, well, you can go win the championship.
No.
So now it would be up to Kevin Durant to become, once again, the best player on the planet and lift that franchise to a championship. And I'm just going to point out to everyone, speaking of that mecca that is Madison Square Garden, since Kevin Durant's rookie year, the best opponent scoring average at Madison Square Garden with a minimum of 8 games is Kevin Durant. Okay, that's over all of his years.
Right.
That's a lot of years. He has shot, he's averaged 32 a game there. Nobody's averaged more than 32 a game. He shot 45% from 3 in 9 games. 45%. You don't think he likes the shooting background there?
Yeah, but Skip, it'd be different if all of a sudden that's your home venue. Because like when I didn't live in LA, every time I came to LA, I went to In-N-Out. I had to have it. Now that I live here, I rarely eat it.
Really?
Yeah, I rarely eat it.
I can't tell, but go
you
ahead.
know what? There you go. I see you got jokes early.
I got jokes.
But Skip, for me, look.
Okay, but he loves it.
He does.
And clearly, he has a 44-point game and a 41-point game. So it's not like he's been hit and missed there. He's been hit.
Right.
He's made 90% of his free. He always makes 90%.
Let me ask you a question. You like to evaluate. You like to play armchair or psychologist. What do you think's going through his mind? Do you believe that Kevin Durant, because everybody says that, but there has to be some apprehension. What if I'm not that guy?
Okay. Well,
in 2 years from now that I was before I left.
Okay. This would be his greatest challenge. You would have to give him credit for having the guts to go try this.
Yes.
Golden State doesn't require that much.
No.
You just go right back to what you know, and you go back to who you were and who they were, and they'll try to keep some pieces together. It's going to be Steph and Draymond. Maybe Clay will stay. Maybe you'll try to get the band back together.
Skip, for me, having gone through this, it's a lot easier to rehab with people that you know have an injury, and the guys, who's going to heal up the quickest, as opposed to rehabbing. Because once I wasn't in the league and I had my shoulder scoped, and I'm around guys that have normal, and guys and gals, men and women that have normal jobs, I don't really know them. So it's me, I get in there, do my job, and rehab, and I'm gone. As when I was with a team, we talking and we really trying to go at this thing because we're trying to speed up that process. He doesn't know anybody. I mean, casually, Skip, but it's not like Clay. Clay, because Clay's going to be right beside him rehabbing. Draymond, he knows Draymond. He knows Steph. He knows that training staff. Skip, is different. It's familiarity. You're going through this. When you go through something, you normally, most of the time, you want someone that you know, that you're comfortable with around you, as opposed to going through this with the unknown.
Okay.
And I think the unknown has Kevin Durant scared. That's why he's doing this soul searching, Skip.
Okay.
Because this is what you and I both believe, and many believe, that Kevin Durant had already made his mind up. I'm leaving Golden State. I'm going to fulfill my obligation because for me, Skip, Kevin Durant wins 3 titles in a row. He's the finals MVP all 3 times. What did that 3rd title tell you about Kevin Durant that you didn't already know?
Agreed.
He's great. Yeah. He's historically great.
Yep. Okay. So, to me, you're leaning Nets, and it would be conventional wisdom. I get that. But just remember, in New York City, if they take the total population, it's more than twice as many people as LA has.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how big New York is. That's
Yeah.
how much bigger New York is than LA. So it does also have two teams, but the Nets, even though they have all this Rock Nation legacy, thanks to Jay-Z, who was out after 2013 because he, couldn't be part of it anymore.
Right.
So even though it's got Rock Nation legacy, they're still the Clippers to me. In New York City, they're the Clippers. They're not in Manhattan,
no question.
right? Okay, so you got to go play the Palace of the Knicks. You got to go be a Knick. If you want legacy, it's Knick legacy.
But Skip, I'm agreeing with you. But what has Kevin Durant history told you? What does he do? What's the easier of the two paths? Because if he wanted his legacy to be great, he could have stayed in OKC, win it there. But no, he went to Golden State. Got no problem with that. He fulfilled his obligation to OKC. So what does that tell you about him? What do you think? Okay. What's the easier of the two?
Okay, so I can only speak for myself. Every time any of the kids ask me career advice, always take the harder fork in the road. Always take the bigger challenge. It'll just make you better and better and better. Why not?
No, I'm taking the close.
You're taking the other one?
No, I'm taking the closest distance.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then, if I had done that, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now, and neither would you.
Yeah,
but see, I don't know.
But see, that's what you thought. See, I fooled him. See, what he did, he thought he had old cream puff. Oh, I get old Sharpe over here and beat him down every day.
Okay.
I laid in the weeds, pretend I don't know about that, Skip, but then just sprung up on it.
Some people at ESPN considered that former show the most successful show in the history of ESPN, just ratings-wise, just how it just took off. Yeah. Well, I'm here now, right?
Yeah.
Harder fork in the road. Okay.
That was unbelievable what you did.
Okay, so that's...
You made it even tougher.
That's on my small level, but I'm comparing me in a very small way to Kevin Durant. He's got a chance to go do something on his own, by himself, at age 32.
But see, you're a different animal, though.
Okay.
See, you would... I
don't know.
Skip, you would have never left a good situation and you going head to head and then go join the situation that's beating you. That's not your background. That's not your MO.
That's true.
You're not built like that.
Okay. But in the end, Kevin Durant, if he could pull this off, and it's a tall order to pull this off, you have to overcome the worst owner in the league.
Yes.
So you'd have to win in spite of him. But if you pulled it off, then you could make a case, this is ultimate case, that you're even bigger than LeBron. And I know you don't want to hear this, but you could make a case that you're the second best player in history.
He'd have a very compelling case.
Okay, he would.
Before you guys get into that, I have to cut you off. Great stuff. And of course, Kevin Durant's decision will have a ripple effect, I'm sure, on other free agents across the league as well.
I know one
team
team's pretty.
But when we come
We're
back,
not worried about that.
why is the rest of the NBA taking shots at the Lakers?
Why?
That's what we're discussing next. Don't forget to check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We're back right after this.